Welcome to Clear to Respond on Rogers TV. I'm Jeff Holmyard with Barrie Fire and Emergency Service, and as is customary, Samantha Hoffman is my co-host. In the city of Barrie, there are several activities that raise money for various charities, and we have a guest with us today to help us cover this topic. Samantha, would you introduce our guest, please?
Sure. Our guest is Charlie Gray, and he is a firefighter with Barrie Fire and runs our community, one of the people that runs our Community Projects Initiative. It's the second time that you've been here, and I can't believe it's been a year, and we're going to hear about all the great things that Community Projects has done so far this year.
Thanks for having me.
So what is Community Projects?
Community Projects, it's a part of the Barrie Firefighters Association, and we deal with all the charity events that people ask us to do, and through our toll gates we raise some money, and that allows us to help various charities and organizations in Barrie with donating and fundraising and different events.
So where does Community Projects get its money from?
The bulk of our money comes from our boot drive, so toll gates. And this past year we raised $118,000 in 4 days.
Wow.
So that's where most of our money comes. And we also...
Can I just, actually, we have a video that you made
sure.
of the toll booths, and we'll just show that. That'll just be running in the background, because it's pretty incredible 4 days.
Yeah.
I know the first year that I was with Barrie Fire, I volunteered for the 1 day, and then I was so impressed. Last year I did 2, just because it's an incredible thing to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
And $118,000, how does that relate to what other fire departments are doing?
We're definitely the top in Canada, and we actually definitely the biggest boot drive in Canada, and then we half the money, and half of it goes to muscular dystrophy, and the other half stays for community projects. So sometimes, every once in a while, like a city like London or Vancouver will beat us, but we're only giving half, and they're doing 3 or 4 events versus our 1 event. So
one event, 4 days, $118,000.
yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Any idea how many total hours are committed to this?
Over 1,000 hours, like per year.
Right.
So.
And just because I think this is pretty cool, what kind of participation have you got from the department on this?
It can range from 60% to 90%. Like we're pretty good. We're definitely better than any other city. I always want to get 100%, but
I think you were pretty close to that last year, weren't you?
Not sure last year, but we do pretty good, and it's based on lots of reasons. Like I know I talk to other fire departments, and they have a hard time sometimes getting guys out. But luckily for Barrie, it's a tradition, and it's kind of instilled in you. Like the first day you're in recruit class,
yeah.
You know, you're doing charity work, and you have to do the boot drive. And
Well,
so
firefighters love tradition, right?
Yeah. So yeah, and the boot drive definitely connected to the fire department.
So between your very good organization and the generosity of the people of Barrie, it works together to raise quite a bit of money.
Oh yeah, we're very lucky. It's definitely the city of Barrie is the nicest city in regards to the boot drive.
Yeah.
So then you give half to muscular dystrophy, and the other half you keep in the Community Projects pool.
Yep.
And is there any other way that you fundraise to get money into that pool?
Yep. There's we have the Bill Wilkins Memorial Golf Tournament every September, and some of that money goes to community projects. Some of the money gets divided up to the Bill Wilkins Scholarship Fund, but we've done so well with the scholarship fund that we've actually paid ahead, so it's worked out.
And just in case any of our viewers aren't familiar with the name Bill Wilkins, he is a Barrie firefighter that died in a line of duty death.
Yes.
So it's a way of remembering Bill
Mm-hmm.
and giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are other events that raise money?
Yep. We have the calendars. Obviously, you should know you're in one, and along with that, there's the fashion show in November. And we also sell, during the fashion show, they sell dinner at the fire hall, and all that money goes towards whatever charity we want to help.
That was
out.
an auction, correct?
Yeah, the auction.
And how much
yeah.
did that make this year?
I'm thinking around 3,000, maybe 4,000. It goes pretty high. It's pretty
Wow.
impressive. Yeah.
And when does that dinner take place?
Whenever the ladies who buy the dinner want to come. I think this year might have been in December. So. Yeah.
And they can have as many as 10 people
Yeah.
accompany them, right?
Yeah, and they get to come to the Station 1 usually, and picked
Yeah.
up in a limo, and
Yeah.
have a nice dinner there, and the guys treat them like gold.
Nice. So all the money is now pooled and it goes into a community projects,
Yeah.
and it's part of the association. But so is it your responsibility then to look at all of this money? Like how does it get decided on who's going to benefit from this fundraising?
Pretty much it comes with requests, or if somebody comes up to me. But we usually vet the people if they're doing requests, or if there's an event, like if the breast cancer walk, we'll give some money, and we'll also send guys, which we'll see later on. But pretty much just based on requests, and year after year, sometimes we give it the same people.
We actually had a really cool thing happen last year in prevention when we had gone out to do an inspection, and it was a complaint that had come in. And when we got to the home, we found out that there was some issues there, but the big thing was the family was going through a really rough time, and they'd had some medical problems and job loss, and their hydro was being cut off. And we were able to call you, Community Projects, and that afternoon go and have their hydro paid. And it was a pretty incredible feeling, being able to have something available to help them when we were going to ask for things to be done, but at the same time to recognize that these were people in our community. And I know for all of us in the office that talked about it afterwards, it made me want to sign up for the boot drive. It made me want to sign up to volunteer for things, because that's where the money's going, right? Like we get to see, and I'm sure the firefighters have that often if they go to a call as well.
Yep. Yeah, you were asking about fires and stuff. After fires, that's the time we like. That's where we like spending our money, is to help people that we see and that we know that the money will go a long way. And especially that we don't have to go through all the red tape. We're kind of like, oh, you need some money, and we don't have to sign any forms or anything. We'll help you right away. And so that's a great feeling, and you can help as many people as you want.
And it's kind of empowering to know that when the trucks are called out and people are at a bad time in their life, if something's noticed by one of the firefighters, they know that they could make a phone call and do something to make their lives a little bit better, even on a short-term basis.
Yep. But usually, go ahead.
That's okay. So when we come back, we're going to go to a break, but when we come back, we'll actually show some pictures of some of the different things that Community Projects has done. You are watching Clear to Respond on Rogers TV. It is a live call-in show. If you have a question for Jeff or Charlie and I, the phone number is 705-737-0779. We'll see you after the break.
If we don't have time.
Welcome back to Clear to Respond on Rogers TV. We're discussing today volunteer exercises that are conducted by Barrie Fire and Emergency Service personnel and the charities that benefit from it. And we have Charlie Gray with us. Charlie, a lot of money raised last year, but every year we want to break the record.
Right. Let's hope so.
And we have a picture that we're going to put up because it was the biggest donation. Is it the biggest donation, other than muscular dystrophy, the largest donation in
definitely it's
Barrie's history?
the picture, but
There's the picture. The picture's up now.
here,
Actually, we're going to put it
so
up here.
This is a picture of us giving $100,000 to the city of Barrie for our Sunnydale Park project. So it's a big deal. We started 6 or 7 years ago. It's called the Capital Project. So because we were making so much money at the boot drive, we wanted something that we could give to Barrie, give back, and it could be there permanently and help out the city that has obviously given us the money from the boot drive. And
so $100,000.
$100,000.
That's a lot of money.
It's the most that any employee group, which essentially is us, is giving back to the city.
That's a pretty good one because the people
amazing.
are out there putting money in our boots and helmets can actually go out and take advantage of something they've contributed to.
Yeah, and it's go ahead.
So what's it going to be? Like it's a park?
So Sunnydale Park project was going to happen regardless, but now that we've added our $100,000 to the city's $150,000, the park is going to be revitalized and changed over, and they're going to make an amazing playground with a fire-oriented theme, like fire safety. And there's going to be a zip line, and it's going to be amazing. And the hope is it's going to open this year. It's going to be like a soft opening around Labor Day, and hopefully, the grand opening will be around on Fire Prevention Week in October.
Oh, that would
So
be great.
that's our goal, and it's going to be. I've already seen the concepts, and it looks phenomenal. And it's going to be a great.
Well, I know I've helped
city.
with some of the messaging too,
That's
the
right.
educational messaging. So it's great, and to know that money is going right back into something that everybody will benefit
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
And what are some of the other? Do you want to just put some pictures up, and we can
Sure.
talk about the pictures? Does that work best
Yeah,
for you?
yeah.
Okay, so if we could put some pictures up, and then we'll just explain what community projects did for those pictures.
So this is our grudge match that we have every year. We go against the cops, and
We win.
And we win every year. And this is one of our guys dressed up as Santa, fighting. And this year they raised $25,000 for the Cancer Society.
Wow.
So that's just something we help. It's not like not coming back to us. We just help out a lot of places like using firefighters as their guinea pigs kind of thing.
Right.
This is us. This is D Squad dropping off some Christmas gifts to I think it's the women's women and children's shelter. I think this is the teddy bear toss that we go to every year. We sell we help the volunteers sell teddy bears, and then the fire department goes out there with their family and friends and pick up all the
And
teddy
again,
bears.
that's pretty amazing how many people buy teddy bears, because I've done that one year too.
For sure,
And
it's amazing. It is.
it's very neat.
They're very
and the kids
excited.
love to throw them out onto the
Yeah.
ice.
This is us. We sponsored 5 families this year for Christmas. A couple through RVH Compassionate Fund, and a couple through Simcoe Community Services. And we delivered them all to the different houses. And we actually even gave out 50 gift cards to the Supported Independent Living Program, which are people who live by themselves but with help. And so we helped out a lot of people at Christmas, which was really
So
good.
that was 55 families, basically.
Yeah,
With
55
the
families. It was
55
great.
families.
This is us just stopping by and picking up some Girl Guide cookies. So
Because you got to give back to the
gotta give
community,
back.
even if it
Yep,
means
they
eating a few
disappear,
cookies.
They disappear, yeah. This is the breast cancer walk. We always participate in it. They particularly like us because we have some pink bunker gear, which we'll probably show in a second. But the girls and everybody participating in it like to get pictures with the guys.
Oh, there's the gear. Yeah.
So it's pretty popular, and that pink
And they
bunker,
actually run in that bunker gear,
They
don't
do?
they, for
Oh.
the Run for the Cure in October?
Well, they might, and the people request the pink bunker gear all over the year, all around.
I can't imagine doing a 5-kilometer run in that pink bunker gear.
I don't know if those guys are running.
And what's this one here?
Oh, they're just on top, cheering on everybody at the breast cancer walk. I think it was this past September.
And I guess there's a real tie-in to cancer fundraising and firefighting, because it's one of the few occupations that have the job-related cancers. So I think it's important that we continue to support them and continue to work so that research,
Yeah.
because it's affecting so many of our members as well as the community.
And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, we support there's breast cancer, there's prostate cancer, there's all the different cancers in all the different organizations in Barrie, and we help them all, and pretty much help it. Like Lung Association, everybody like that comes to the fire department and asks us for help. So we do help out everybody who comes.
Well,
to us out.
we had a list there just before we went to break of all the different charities that you help on a regular basis. Do you ever find, like, do we run out of money?
We purposely run out of money every June, right before a boot drive. So that's how we do it. We don't. The only money we ever kept was for the capital project, which is going to be used this year. So we'll be down to zero, which is perfect. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Is there a formal application that someone has to fill out? They can come to headquarters and sign
No,
up?
not really. They usually somehow get in contact with me.
So they put something, as long as they put something in writing and
Oh, yeah.
can explain
and we
that they
usually
have a
vet them
need.
either through organizations. A lot of times it's helpful that something like the RVH Compassionate Fund, which is it's for people with cancer once they leave after their cancer treatments, and how they if they have to go home to pay the bills, or if they've lost their job. It's nice to go through those organizations because they'll go through the people's background and everything. So it
Do you
works out for all.
somehow, that's what I was about to ask, you somehow screen
Yeah,
legitimacy of the-
we usually go through other organizations. That's
Yeah.
how it works out. But I mean, if somebody wants to sell us Girl Guide cookies, we usually just buy them. So.
And I know that Season Center is
Yeah.
one of the places that benefits from community projects as well.
Yeah, that's a big one. It seems to be very popular for us donating them. Especially at Christmas, we gave a check for $1,000 and some toys, and some of the money came from Barrie Fire's prevention team's hot summer nights and Domino's Pizza, and a lot of that money came from there, which was really nice.
Well, because Season Center is the only type of grieving center around for children. So we still have lots more to talk about, more
Okay.
pictures to look at. We're talking to Charlie Gray from Community Projects of the Barrie Professional Firefighters Association. You're watching Clear to Respond. If you have a question for us, it's 705-737-0779. You're watching Clear to Respond on Rogers TV, Barrie.
Welcome back to Clear to Respond. Before we resume our discussion about volunteer work and the charities that it supports, we're going to enlighten you to what the Barrie Fire and Emergency Service has been up to in the last 2 weeks as far as emergency response goes. This component of our show is always called Sirens in the Neighborhood and answers the questions of why we've been running so many sirens lately. So just in the last 2 weeks, actually from February 24th up to March 10th, you can see on your screen how many fires we responded to in that 2-week period. So as you can see, we did respond to 7 fires. We responded to 30 occasions of alarms ringing. And here's a number that's way down. It's good to see. No outdoor burning except for 1 occasion.
It's because it's too cold.
I'm cool with that. No pun intended. CO alarms. We responded to 13 occasions of carbon monoxide alarms sounding. Sam, you got some special info on that.
Well, we had a really interesting CO call within this 2-week time frame, and it was a family that thought they were doing everything they could to protect themselves. They had very small, it was a 1,200 square foot home. They had 6 or 7 smoke alarms. They had a CO alarm. What they didn't realize was that the CO alarms only have a 5 to 10 year lifespan, usually 7. And their CO alarm was from 1999. They had a problem with their furnace. When our crews arrived, the CO levels were 550 parts per million. Wow. 7 people in the house, 2 sleeping in the basement about 10 feet from the furnace that weren't feeling well and didn't go to school that day because they weren't feeling well. So if we hadn't have gotten that phone call, we would have lost 7 people.
Wow, that's a really close call.
So the CO calls, 13 of them, it is legislated that you need to have a CO alarm in your house. We're still waiting for the wording as to whether they are on every level and what the fire code is going to require, but we do strongly recommend that you have a CO alarm by every sleeping area in your home.
All right. Of the estimated 7,000 plus alarms we respond to in 1 year, or anticipated this year at least, in the last 2 weeks, Fire and Emergency Service responded to 29 occasions of vehicle accidents.
Incidents. Accidents are preventable.
What about elevator rescues? Are they preventable too?
They are.
There were, as always, top of the list is the medical responses, 162. That's almost an average of 1 every 2 hours. 6 occasions of gas leaks and spills and 28 other incidents of response. So that sums up just what fire department's been up to in 2 weeks in city limits alone.
That's why everyone's hearing all those sirens in their neighborhood.
So let's get back to our volunteer hours and community projects and where else the money is going and how else we're raising it. It's a pretty important topic because people do contribute a lot in this city.
And so we've got some more pictures that you brought, Charlie.
Okay.
If you want to, we'll look at a picture and you can tell us what and I'm sure this is only like the very tip of the iceberg. I'm sure that there are a lot more events that we do, so.
This is an inside ride. This is when a lot of different schools and a lot of organizations do an inside ride to raise money for cancer. And they're always asking the fire department to come join them, so we do 3 or 4 of them a year. So pretty much you're cycling as hard as you can for 10 minutes on the bike. But this is Andrew Meow on going to Washington representing Camp Bucko. So we actually send him to Camp Bucko for a week, and then he actually so important that he got sent down to Washington to represent.
Can you just
Camp Bucko.
interrupt and describe what Camp Bucko is?
Well, Camp Bucko is a camp that for people of burns and allows them to enjoy the time down there and at the camp and without any bullying or made fun of. So they
Because everybody's the same.
everybody's the same. So and it's a lot of different fire departments support it. So and so we have Andrew. So he gets to go there and he's a big part of the organization. So they sent him down to Washington.
Wow. And do we still have more pictures? Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is our golf tournament. This is the Bill Wilkins Golf Tournament. Just a picture we took, and this
So we're
year.
seeing hockey and golfing and cycling. I'm sensing a little bit of a pattern here
There
with all
is,
these
there
community
is.
projects.
Forget the curling.
People like us with the sports and stuff. So then, like here it is. This is one of our representatives, Kevin White, at the Hockey Night in Barrie. So we supported RVH through this fundraiser.
Quite a turnout.
Yeah.
Is this the one that's held in Ottawa every year?
No, the one in Ottawa is against MPs, and that's they raise money for during the legislative conference for MD, for muscular dystrophy.
That looks like headquarters.
Headquarters, I can't really remember what that one is, but the kids came by the hall. Can't remember what that one's for, but.
So lots of different events.
Mhm.
And even though it looks like a lot of fun things, that it is a lot of fun things that the firefighters are doing, I think it's really important that our viewers know that these firefighters are doing it on their own time too,
That's right.
Because they're doing it to give back to the community, to help see if their presence is going to help raise money, or you're sponsoring them to be part of another charity so that the funding is going that way. And it does take a lot of time.
It does. We get 2 or 3 requests a week for a charity event or for funds towards a certain organization. Like we try not to say no to anybody, but sometimes there's just not enough time in the week, I guess.
Well, I know we get a lot of emails from you saying, I need somebody for this
Yes,
Saturday, I need somebody for
those
this.
are important. Don't erase them. So.
This fashion show or this curling or
There's
this
a lot of
hockey.
fashion shows this year, this spring. There seems to be a lot. So we try and stick to the ones that we've done every year because they expect us to be there. So.
And for those, most of them, we're not raising any money. We're helping the other people
Yeah,
to raise money.
that's right. Usually we're escorting people down the runway and stuff, but they seem to like firefighters or cops showing up. So.
And what else? What's coming up? What's have you got
well,
any big things coming up? We've
Big
only
things.
got a
We
couple
have
of minutes left.
at the David Busby Center, we're doing a uniformed lunch along with Base Borden and the cops and the paramedics. We each pick a day to do a lunch at the David Busby Center. So we're doing that on April 1st. And we're actually part of a fashion show at the ranch with Simcoe Community Services, and that's April 24th. We're doing that. And of course, the biggest thing is toll gates, June 5th to 8th.
June
And-
5th to 8th.
Yeah, so Thursday to a Sunday. We actually had it on the Sunday, but that's our biggest fundraiser. So
And that's where we really want people to come out and fill our booths.
for sure, definitely.
So thank you very much for being our
You're
guest and for doing all those wonderful things with community projects and giving back to the community. We really appreciate it. You are watching Clear to Respond on Rogers TV in Barrie. It's behind the scenes look at Barrie Fire and Emergency Service, and we will catch you next week.